Hello, Star Wars unboxing fans. Welcome to another episode on the road. Another BATUU adventure. But this one is kind of a weird one. So, I might be putting a lot of these videos. I have a second channel that I don't do much with. It's Popping into Disney. And I haven't done much with it, but I think I'm going to start doubling up and putting episodes on both channels. Because this kind of falls into both Disney and Star Wars. So we're staying here at the beautiful Beach Club villas. It's been the villas have been recently refurbished and been great. And I had a reservation for OGA's Cantina. Now, I've actually had 3 reservations. I did one when we did the Halcyon. I did one a day or 2 after the Halcyon. And this was the 3rd one. Well, my wife was not feeling very well today, so I thought, I think I'd just like to cancel it. Now, in the old days, I used to be able to cancel it the day of. Well, today, I tried to cancel. No luck. I was like, well, maybe I can reschedule it for later on the trip. No luck. I either show up, and I even went on a chat to talk to a cast member, and I was told that I either show up or we have to pay a $10 per person fee. So I was like, okay. Well, my wife's not feeling up to it, so she's going to stay home. And my daughter was also not feeling up to it today, so she's going to stay back. So I'm going to go solo. I do believe that I may still have to pay a penalty. I'm not 100% sure. But even if I do, at least I'll get a drink out of it. So, anyway, it'll be an expensive drink, but that's okay. We'll find something good. So, we're on a solo trip to BATUU to get a libation of some sort at OGA's Cantina. Now, I'm not sure if I'm going to get something alcoholic or not. I'm not really a drinker. There are a few things in there that I like though, so we might try something, we'll see. Now, I'm walking the path here to get to the Skyliner. The Skyliner is the quickest way to get to, well, I'd like to say, I guess the quickest way to get there would be to walk, but it's about 90 degrees out and walking to Hollywood. I don't know if that's the smartest move right now, so I think we'll just do the Skyliner since the weather's looking okay. So I think we'll be fine. These rooms right here in the Beach Club, this is considered the closest room. It's being renovated right now. This is the closest hotel room to a Disney park. Because once you come out this gate and you make a left, you are now on the Epcot Resort kind of loop here. But if you keep walking this way, you're only a few feet away from Epcot, the entrance to what's called the International Gateway, which is kind of like it's like in the middle of the countries. It's nestled between Great Britain, or England I should say, and France. And it's a nice kind of a secret entrance. Less secret now that we have the Skyliner, which a lot of people use to get to the Caribbean Beach Hotel, Riviera, and Pop Century, and Art of Animation resorts. I'm using the Skyliner today to go to Hollywood, which I did the other day in a previous episode. So I'm not gonna really showcase that. I'm just gonna kind of show us getting on. It's such a beautiful spot here. Very tranquil. Epcot and Hollywood Studios are my 2 favorite parks of Disney parks. They're my favorite parks because they're a little bit less crazy. I mean, Magic Kingdom is, of course, the signature park, but it's just insane. It's just, we were there yesterday and it was packed. As I said, some of this might fall more into Disney topics, less into Star Wars, but we'll be getting to OGA shortly. Yeah, there's been some weirdness going around on the internet that somehow that the parks are not as crowded this year as they were last year, and therefore Disney is failing. I would say that that's a bit of an exaggeration. I will agree that there have been less people in the park. I mean, keep in mind, right now it's past 11, so the initial surge of people going in the morning has passed. So this time of day, it's generally a lot calmer, which is good because, you know, if you're going to want to try to have a relaxing Disney vacation, you kind of want to do it in ways that don't involve mass amounts of people and mass amounts of lines. So, but I was in Disney Magic Kingdom yesterday, and you know what? It was pretty crowded. There also seemed to be some glitches going on technically because a lot of people weren't able to get in. There was people at guest services, so it was kind of weird. I got in fine. So it's important to know, though, that it's not an all or nothing thing with this kind of stuff. I just think there's a lot of Disney haters out there right now, and they want Disney to fail, and they want anytime they can validate it. Skyliner is a fun thing. It's a fun way to get there. A lot of people complained about this when it opened, but I love it. I think it's a great way to do it. It's only a problem when there's rain issues. I just got Skyliner cards for the kids. That's fun. There's a lot of magic like that still taking place. Just one. Thank you. Looks like we are on it. Oh, we still have a marked one. I don't know I didn't see what our wrap was, but nice. Yeah, so we deal a lot with the internet being kind of a mean place, sadly, and I don't know why people want to see anybody fail, you know. And I think I speak from I know that there are people that feel that they're charging a lot of money now, and you know, oh, we have our voice person. Okay, I know there's a lot of talk about that, and I know that people, you know, get complained about their hard-earned money being nickeled and dimed away from them by Disney and other big companies. And I do agree that they should be kept in check, and I think that they need to make changes. But I do think Disney does a pretty good job with that. They run, everything I do on this trip, between a whole stay at a hotel to a restaurant to a day in a park, I receive a survey. And we always tell people, everyone said, when you get surveys, take the surveys. They read the surveys. They check the surveys. I know for a fact. I have friends who are like higher up cast members that work with both Disney Parks, Disney Cruise Line, and I know for a fact that they check all of those, you know, they check for those things. They check to see what people are liking and not liking, and you know, they make that point. And sometimes it's upsetting, you know, sometimes because, you know, I'm in my professional job puts me sometimes in a position where I have to make a decision, and I know that if I decide this or that, someone's going to be upset. But I do the decision that I think benefits the most people. That's basically how I work. And that's how Disney does it. You know, for example, in Epcot there was a ride called Maelstrom, which was in Norway, and it was all about the history of Norway and the Norwegian culture. And it was a great ride. You know, it was very nostalgic if you're nostalgic for Epcot of the 80s. But now, more recently, that's not very recent, a few years ago, you know, with the success of Frozen, the movie Frozen, they have since taken that ride out and replaced it with an Anna and Elsa Frozen attraction. Now, people complain about it. Oh, Disney's putting too much IP in the parks. I'm like, oh, okay, you can complain about that if you want. But, you know, Disney's always had IP. And yes, sometimes they create their own things that are not IP, but technically they are IP. They're just a different kind of IP. But Disney has definitely, you know, they did a lot of research. And I'll tell you something about Maelstrom. It was a great ride. It was a fun ride, but it was not a very crowded ride. You could go in there at any given point, and it wasn't. This is a turn station, but it's really bumpy. You can go in there at any given point, and it was minimal crowds, except like on really, really, really busy days. So when they turned it to the Frozen ride, now it's a 40 to 60 minute wait all the time. It's a popular ride. It's a popular ride. It's a popular IP. It's a popular ride. Sometimes you have, even Disney said it's Disney World or Disneyland is not going to ever be a museum. It shouldn't be a museum. So, anyway, let me just hook this up here just because I got a little room here. There we go. So, conversations. This is kind of going off the rails a little bit, but conversations on our Skyliner. So, Disney's been doing that. They took away Ellen's Energy Adventure, which was a nice, opening attraction ride. The part of it was they changed it to Ellen's. But, Ellen DeGeneres is not as popular as she once was, so, they had to change it. So they made it Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind, and it's a very popular coaster. So, it's nice for them to, it's nice of them to build, like, new rides from scratch, so they don't have to stick to a footprint.
Gentlemen, the Disney Skyliner has been temporarily delayed. Please remain seated. We will resume your flight as soon as possible. Thank you for your patience.
Oh boy. So here we are, just dangling on the thing, on our way to BATUU. Hopefully we get there in time. I still have a little ways to go here. Oh, there we go, we're already moving. So, Disney has a lot that they have to do. They have to make choices, and sometimes they're going to make a choice.
Thank you for your patience. We are now resuming your journey, and will take flight momentarily. Thank you.
Take flight momentarily. We're in flight. All right. Anyway, so that's all. It's a thing, and I just feel like sometimes Disney gets a bum rap. I mean, I know they're a big mega corporation, and they need to be held accountable for that kind of stuff. But I think that they do a better job than many. Does that mean they can't do better? No, they can do better, and they should do better. And I think they're making amends to do better. But one of the reasons I know they do that is because I get so many surveys. Sometimes I get tired of it. I'm like, guys, come on. Well, one thing, I did get a survey the other day, and it got cut short towards the end because they said, can we combine your answers here with other answers of a similar nature that you've provided in the past? And I was like, yes, thank you. Way to improve it, save time. So that was really cool. Anyway. But I'll tell you, like I've been saying on all of these videos, BATUU, Galaxy's Edge, I am absolutely in love with that place. I hope that they will continue to tweak it, but even if that takes years, I get it. But I am so excited about it. It is just such a great place, and I just love walking in there. I'll go to Hollywood Studios and just hang out in BATUU for not even a long time, maybe just like 40 minutes, 45 minutes. It's fantastic. If you haven't been there, get there. It's worth it. It is not like just going on a ride. There are two rides there. Both rides are fantastic. One is absolutely epic in nature. Okay, Rise of Resistance. The other ride is Smuggler's Run. I mean, it's a B ride. It's a B attraction. It would be considered like the B side of an album. Okay, but it's still really fun. And what's nice about Smuggler's Run is that you can get on there, if you do single rider, you can get on there with no wait all the time, even on the most crowded moments, because it's a 6-seater attraction, and there's rarely ever going to be 6 people in a party. There's usually 4 or 5, and maybe 3, and then you kind of go in the line, and they just put you with one of those groups. So there's no wait. Only problem is that you don't get to be the pilot. You almost always just get to be either usually the engineer, and maybe the gunner, but usually it's just the engineer. And the engineer just pushes buttons. Something goes wrong in the Falcon and things light up and you just push the buttons. You have to launch cables and stuff like that. Which is fine. I mean, I like it, but it's a lot of times I end up with a set of pilots that are about under the age of 10. So I like that because when it crashes and bumps into walls and bumps into things, the engineers have to do a lot of work, so it's more fun for us. But also gotta be careful, that sometimes it can get very bumpy. So anyway, both rides are fantastic. But even without the rides, the shops, the dining, Opus Cantina, it's just a great place to hang. So looking forward to it. Okay, and we are here. It is from hotel to Skyliner to switch to some other Skyliners to Hollywood Studios. I would say it does take you roughly 25-30 minutes. So it just gets bumpy. Whoa! It's like a ride in and of itself. Hey, Tigger. I love the art on each of them. I think I've got a blank one this time, but that's okay too because you can see better. Thank you. Thanks so much. Cast member is always the best part of Disney. Tower of Terror. Yeah, the funny thing about today was that our original plan was to come in a little before noon and then stay until around 4 where we have a dining reservation, because OGA's, you can get food there. It's considered a restaurant, but there's really no food. There's like a couple of snacks and mostly drinks. But sadly, because, you know, and I don't hold it against my family, my wife or daughter, if they're not feeling well. You know, they want to come later for dinner, so they know that with the heat and everything else, they're better off just kind of, you know, practicing self-care until later, and then they'll be feeling up to coming. That's generally how it works with us. But, you know, sadly, Disney, you know, they have to make their rules, and I get it. Part of the reason for the rules for that is very simple. People would used to make reservations for like 10 different restaurants, or maybe that's exaggeration, maybe 5 different restaurants every day of their trip. And then they would just decide which one they wanted to go to. And they would just go to that one. And they would let the other ones go. And those are seats that Disney's reserving for them that they're not using. So to combat this, what they decided to do instead was, yeah, you can change and cancel up to 24 hours before. Otherwise, you have to pay a $10 per person on the reservation penalty. So, I get it, I understand it. I just don't think it really makes sense with OGA's. Although in some ways it does, because OGA's is very popular and it's not that big. So, I understand that too. So that's why I wanted to at least honor. I mean, they're going to most likely put, whether it was one of us, 2 of us, or 3 of us, they were most likely just going to put us at a table. So we're not going to take up that much room. And when I check in, I can check in with just 1. I might still have to pay that penalty with the other 2, but that's fine. But, you know, I'm just going to go in, get my drink, take a quick stroll, and then head back out. And then we'll come back again in a couple hours to do the reason we're coming in at 4 is we have dining at Rodeo Roundup Barbecue, or Roundup Rodeo Barbecue. I forget which one it's called.
I think what I'm actually
And just like that, a little fast forward camera action, and we are in BATUU. Now, I have a 12 o'clock dining reservation for OGA's. I just checked in at, it's 11:41. 20 minutes ahead of time you can check in, which is what I did. And now, while I wait for my chances, I'm guessing it isn't going to take long because it's just one of me. So, I will work my way towards it. But another stroll on BATUU is never a bad thing. And quite popular today. Even Star Tours, which normally doesn't have that much of a wait, had a 50-minute wait. They were using the Endor queue. This is 95 minutes for Rise of Resistance. It is a popular place today. Nice A-wing over there. Got the X-wing over here. Heck, there's even a line for some photos. One thing, I'm in here many times on this trip. I have yet to find Mandalorian and Grogu, whom I know are walking around now on BATUU. So I really, really hope that I can see them. We only have a few days left on this trip before we begin our travels back north. So I'm hoping I run into them at least once. But you know what? We come often enough that if I don't, that's okay. Yeah, I say it over and over. Sorry if I sound like a broken record, but it's just such a beautifully themed and detailed space. Lots of space, lots of room to walk around. Another little detail I love here are these soda sales points. They come with their own little droids. Some of them even move. Thanks, you can roll the carts. I think that was a great way to get more droids in the park, because I know that one of the original complaints, I see a crowd, oh, stormtroopers, okay, never mind. One of the coolest things about you know, the initial concepts of Galaxy's Edge, where they were going to include a lot of roaming around droids. And the thing is that, having built a droid, I can tell you that astromech droids are not conducive to roaming around. Not so much because they can't get around. I mean, they're easy to roam around. They do it at conventions all the time. But the problem with droids, astromechs, is that people want to get close to them, and they are wider at the bottom. So kids tend to want to go up to their feet and bump into them and stand on them, and you know, try to use their feet as stepping stones or whatever. So it's a challenge, to say the least, and it's damaging, very damaging. I remember talking to droid builders, and they said that they have to constantly replace feet, and now they started building them out of aluminum in an effort to, you know, keep them more sturdy. But nonetheless, even that, they can cause damage. So I think that was the thing. So instead, they put droids over here on the side. They have them by the soda sale points of purchase. So I think that's good. And I love this, what they did here. They have like a little droid cleaning station that you can get right up to. Oh, looks like our table is ready. So we're gonna work our way over there right now. Here's the first order area. Oh, it looks like today may be a BATUU day. I'm sorry, a Halcyon excursion day, because if you look here, the fence is up. If it's a Halcyon day, they always put up the fences, a little chain link. So keep our eyes open for anybody with pins on. Oftentimes they'll also be dressed up in Halcyon Star Wars inspired costuming, and they'll wear a special pin, and that pin will be an indication to the cast members here that they are on an excursion from the Halcyon. They do special adventures, things like that. Okay. Hi, just checking in. I got a notification. I checked in online. I got a notification. Williams. Hi.
Welcome to your guest cantina. You're
Thank
going to
you.
be just in the bar, okay?
Okay, very good. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Trevor. How you doing today?
Good, how are you?
Good. I'll mention we got less down there, all right?
All right.
Take a look. If you have any questions, keep them sitting here.
I don't think I do. I think I'm good.
You know what you want?
A yub nub, please.
No,
Yep.
certainly a souvenir mug you take home, all right?
Correct. Going with the yub nub. Get the souvenir cup.
Yep.
So what was that again?
Wookie boogers.
Wookie boogers. All right.
Picked for quality.
All right. Gotta love it.
Only the best ones get picked.
I absolutely love the tap handle.
Have fun out there, okay?
They each have a significance. We've seen them in Star Wars. Tells the whole story of Return of the Jedi, last chapter. Look at that, a Rex. Whew, that was hopping in there. So I ended up with the Yub Nub, which does come with a souvenir glass. I actually got the Yub Nub a few years ago, but they changed the glass, of course. So now, you know, the collector being what I am, I have to pick up. I saw a Halcyon pin. I think, yeah, so having a different Yub Nub color, it's like more of a turquoise. That'll go very nicely with the brown one that originally came out. And it's cool, it's like a carved out, it's made of ceramic, but it's supposed to be like a wooden carved look that tells the story of the end of Return of the Jedi when the Ewoks join the fight. Take a little walk through the marketplace on our way out. Ooh, feeling that rum. I did ended up with an alcoholic drink, which, you know, I mean, it's mild comparatively to some other drinks, but it is very hot out, very heavy. Ooh, I see more pins. Are you enjoying your voyage?
Yes, we are.
We just did, my wife and I just did it like
Did you?
two weeks
How
ago.
was it? That's awesome.
It was very emotional.
After the post-voyage drop,
Oh,
We're trying to stay in the moment, but
Do it.
we're a little sad.
I know, but just keep living in the moment. You're gonna have the rest of the day is amazing. So enjoy the rest, guys. All right, BATUU-with day. Always love to meet up with some fellow Halcyon experienced folk. It is a very bittersweet time because it's such a great experience and it's so amazing, unlike anything you'll do anywhere else, and yet they're discontinuing it. I'm hoping that they bring it back in some form. I'm sure they will to some degree, but I fear that it will never be what this is. It'll never be what it is currently. So I just hope that it can be something at least close, but Man, the parks are empty, they said. No, they are not. Oh, I forgot. Sorry, I had to check one quick thing. Forgot to check. The droid parts bucket came out at the beginning of my vacation, and I, of course, stupidly didn't get it. And now it is sold out. I'm just double checking. Nope, not seeing it. Okay. That's all right. One thing I've learned about popcorn buckets, they always end up in the yard sale. So maybe I'll just save myself the money. It is cool though. Yeah, I laugh because those familiar with the channel know that I've, of course, done many a yard sale over the years, selling off bits and pieces of the collection to help pay for our visits to Disney and to BATUU, and to help pay for more collectible items that end up in the collection. I don't know if I want to part. Whoa. I don't know if I want to part with that, but I see him. I see him. I see Mandalorian. Yay.
Of course. We need to head out. Thanks for the visit.
Oh, turn, Nick. Nick, just turn.
It's okay. It counts. I saw a glimpse of him. Well, that was unexpected. Okay. Well, believe it or not, I was only in OGA's for about 10 minutes, but it's okay. It was an expensive 10 minutes because I got the souvenir bug. I could have skipped that, but I didn't have it. And like I said, I'm kind of enjoying my Galaxy's Edge / Halcyon collectible display in my house. And I feel it's something that I might kind of hone and do more with over the years, especially since I keep rotating things in and out. Such a wonderful place. A little more wonderful at night because it's cooler. But. So with that, folks, that's gonna do it for this episode. You know what to do. You like, you subscribe, hit the notification, all that stuff. Leave comments. In fact, speaking of Halcyon, I started leaving a lot of stickers and other things relating to the channel for people to find. Kind of going on a bit of a whisper campaign to get more people familiar with the channel. I know that YouTube is a huge space and there's just so many creators out there, so it's hard to find the time to look at them all, but spread the word about this one. It's a simple channel. I'm not out to, become a Lucasfilm spokesperson or anything. I just love Star Wars and I love sharing my love with whomever wants to hear about it. All right, as we enter back into the real world, sort of, the real world of Hollywood, sort of Hollywood. Thanks so much for watching. Till next time, may the Force and the toys and the Yub Nub mugs be with you all.